your complete guide to days of our lives' most explosive week ahead. Welcome back to NBC Update channel. Today, we will learn about the upcoming events in Salem that are about to shake the foundations of several major storylines. The week of December 1st to 5th is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic periods in recent days of our lives' history, with multiple crises coming to a head, shocking revelations about hidden deceptions, and romantic milestones that could be disrupted by unexpected complications. Rachel's mental health crisis takes a serious turn as she enters Bayview treatment facility. One of the most significant developments this week involves Rachel Boyd, portrayed by the talented Rachel Boyd, who will finally receive the psychiatric intervention she desperately needs. After months of struggling with the psychological weight of witnessing and being connected to the shooting of E.J. DeMera traumatic incident that has left deep scars on her, Rachel is about to embark on a crucial journey toward healing. When a bed becomes available within the specialized juvenile psychiatric ward at the prestigious Bayview treatment facility, medical professionals determine that immediate inpatient hospitalization is the appropriate course of action for her ongoing mental health crisis. The decision to admit Rachel to Bayview represents a critical turning point in her character arc. The memories of that fateful day when E.J. DeMera was shot have been buried deep within Rachel's subconscious mind, creating severe emotional and psychological disturbances that have manifested in increasingly concerning behaviors. Days of Our Lives reveals that the trauma has been too much for the young woman to process on her own, and she requires professional psychiatric care, round-the-clock supervision, and therapeutic intervention to help her process these painful memories and begin the long road to recovery. Her family and loved ones recognize that this step is not only necessary but essential if Rachel has any hope of moving forward with her life. A mysterious figure at Bayview threatens Rachel's recovery with dangerous manipulation. Just when it appears that Rachel will finally get the help she needs to heal and move past her trauma, an unexpected complication emerges that could potentially derail her entire recovery process. Upon arriving at Bayview, Rachel encounters Sophia, another resident of the facility, and this meeting will change everything. What Rachel doesn't initially realize is that Sophia has been orchestrating an elaborate deception all along. She's been pretending to be catatonic and unable to communicate, maintaining her silence and appearing completely disconnected from the world around her. However, when Sophia greets Rachel in private, she reveals the shocking truth. She can actually speak, hear, and fully comprehend everything happening around her. And her silence has been nothing more than an elaborate act. This revelation immediately puts Rachel in an extremely uncomfortable position. Sophia doesn't just come clean about her deception, she actively enlists Rachel as a co-conspirator in her scheme. She convinces Rachel to keep her secret about her actual ability to communicate with others, making Rachel complicit in Sophia's ongoing deception. What makes this situation particularly troubling is that Sophia seems to take pleasure in drawing Rachel into her web of manipulation, suggesting that this mysterious resident might be far more dangerous than anyone at Bayview realizes. Rather than being a positive influence who could support Rachel through her recovery, Sophia appears to be a corrupting force who could lead Rachel further down a destructive path. The question remains, what are Sophia's true motivations for maintaining this facade, and what does she ultimately want from Rachel? The academic struggles of Tate Black create tension with Holly Jonas. On another front in Salem, the relationship between Tate Black and Holly Jonas is about to hit a significant rough patch as personal problems intersect with academic pressures. Tate, a student at Salem University, has been neglecting his studies in favor of spending time with other pursuits, and this academic negligence is now catching up with him in serious ways. His grades have been steadily declining throughout the semester, and Days of Our Lives reveals that he's currently in danger of facing academic expulsion if he doesn't dramatically improve his performance in his remaining courses. The situation becomes more complex and emotionally charged when Holly Jonas receives an update about Tate's academic difficulties. Rather than responding with sympathy or understanding, Holly apparently takes a more confrontational approach to the situation. She expresses her anger and frustration with Tate, believing that he squandered valuable study time over the Thanksgiving holiday break when he should have been focused on preparing for his final examinations. Holly's scolding reflects her genuine concern for Tate's future and her frustration that he seems to be taking his educational opportunities for granted. This conflict between Holly and Tate highlights the challenges that young couples face when one partner's priorities seem misaligned with the other's. And it raises questions about whether their relationship can survive this period of tension and disappointment. Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez celebrate a major romantic milestone despite looming threats. In what appears to be a silver lining amidst all the chaos and drama unfolding throughout Salem, Leo Stark and Javi Hernandez are experiencing their own moment of romantic triumph. After Javi accepts Leo's marriage proposal, the two men have plenty of reasons to celebrate what represents a significant commitment between them. The proposal itself marks a turning point in their relationship, solidifying their partnership and opening the door to a new chapter of their lives together. With Javi's acceptance of Leo's proposal, the couple immediately begins the exciting process of planning their wedding, discussing venues, guest lists, themes, and all the various details that go into creating a memorable celebration of their union. However, even this joyful occasion is overshadowed by potential complications lurking in the background. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint at the impending return of Dimitri von Leuschner, a character whose presence in Salem has historically been associated with conflict, intrigue, and unexpected drama. The mere possibility of Dimitri's return raises concerns about whether he might possess information or motivations that could threaten Leo and Javi's happiness. Given Dimitri's complex history with Leo and his tendency to create chaos wherever he goes, his potential reappearance could cast a dark shadow over the couple's engagement celebration. Fans are left wondering whether Leo and Javi will be able to protect their newfound happiness, or whether external forces will conspire to tear them apart before they even make it down the aisle. Looking ahead, a week filled with emotional intensity and shocking revelations. The week of December 1st to 5th represents a convergence of multiple storylines, each building toward moments of significant emotional and dramatic intensity. Rachel's admission to Bayview marks the beginning of her mental health journey, but the introduction of Sophia as a potential threat adds layers of complexity and danger to her recovery process. The tension between Holly and Tate serves as a reminder that even young love must weather the storms of real-world pressures and competing priorities. Meanwhile, Leo and Javi's engagement celebration provides a brief glimmer of hope and happiness, even as viewers sense the approaching storm that Dimitri's return might bring. As Days of Our Lives continues to weave these interconnected narratives together, viewers can expect the unexpected twists and turns that have made the show a daytime television staple for decades. The writers have crafted a week filled with moments designed to keep audiences engaged, emotionally invested, and eager to tune in each day to discover how these storylines will develop and resolve. Whether you're rooting for Rachel's recovery, hoping Holly and Tate can work through their differences, celebrating Leo and Javi's engagement, or dreading Dimitri's potential return, the week ahead promises compelling television that will satisfy longtime fans and newcomers alike. Be sure to stay tuned to Days of Our Lives as these dramatic events unfold in Salem, and don't miss a single moment of the excitement, heartbreak, and unexpected revelations that await your favorite characters. Part 2, Thursday, November 27, 2025, A Thanksgiving Shadow and a Letter No One Expected. Today on Days of Our Lives, an unsettling discovery turns what should have been a warm, peaceful holiday into a day filled with confusion, suspicion, and a hint of danger. Thanksgiving in Salem has always been a time when families attempt to set aside their troubles, gather around familiar tables, and remind themselves of what truly matters. But this year, calm moments seem harder to come by. While the Brady's, Hortons, and Kyriakis families move through the traditions they've followed for decades, a quiet storm begins to form, one that may follow Alex and Stephanie long after the holiday ends. A quiet afternoon turns strange. The day begins innocently enough. Alex Kyriakis arrives home carrying an armful of freshly pressed clothes. The couple is preparing for an upcoming book tour, something they have been planning for weeks. They want everything to be perfect, from the outfits they will wear to the press materials Stephanie is composing on her laptop. It should be a smooth, peaceful moment in their shared routine. But, as is often the case in Salem, tranquility never lasts. Stephanie sits at the dining table, finishing a press release that needs to be sent to her publisher before they leave town. Beside her chair sits a cardboard box filled with the fan letters she promised her editor she would sort through. She had meant to bring it to the office earlier in the week but got caught up in trip planning. Now, with the holiday rush, she pushes herself to multitask writing, reading, sorting, and packing all at once. Alex sets down the dry cleaning, walks over to the box, and playfully teases her about her tower of mail. He thinks nothing of it at first. After all, both of them are used to attention from fans, especially since Stephanie's latest book has taken off in a way she never expected. The letters, though sometimes emotional or overly enthusiastic, have always remained harmless. But today, something is different. A letter addressed to the wrong name. Alex begins flipping through the envelopes, some typed, some handwritten, some decorated with heart stickers and glitter. Then he pauses. An unexpected detail catches his eye. One envelope is addressed not to Stephanie's pen name, the name the public knows, but to her real name. Her full, private name. He frowns and picks it up. There is no return address. The handwriting is uneven, shaky, and oddly smudged. Something about it feels off, even before he opens it. "Steph," he calls out, "did you see this one? It's addressed to you, not the pen name." She barely looks up from her laptop. Probably just someone who dug around online. Fans do that sometimes. Alex is not convinced, but he tries to keep the mood light. He tears open the envelope and begins reading. 5 seconds later, his expression changes. 10 seconds later, his voice rises. Finally, he blurts, "What the hell is this?" The letter no one wanted to read. Stephanie startles and swivels around in her chair. What is it?" Alex holds the letter in front of him as though it were something unpleasant he found in the trash. It's misspelled, it's rambling, and it sounds like a desperate love letter crossed with a threat. He begins reading aloud. The words are strange, overly emotional phrases mixed with unsettling lines that feel far too personal. The writer talks about watching her work, about waiting for the right time to meet, and about how he sees her everywhere. Stephanie's face shifts from annoyance to discomfort, then to something more guarded. She tries to brush it off at first. "Alex, it's probably just another fan who got carried away. You should have seen the letter you got years ago when you were on Body and Soul." She forces a weak smile. Fans sometimes act a little odd, but Alex doesn't smile back. He remembers that fan letter. He remembers the uneasy feeling that lingered for weeks. And he knows perhaps better than Stephanie is willing to admit that attention from strangers can cross a line quickly. He studies her face, trying to determine how worried she really is beneath the brave exterior. Stephanie avoids the conversation, but why? Instead of continuing the discussion, Stephanie abruptly changes the subject. She stands, gathers a stack of clothes, and announces she needs to finish packing before they stop by the pub for Thanksgiving dinner with family. Her tone is just a little too cheerful. Her pace is a little too quick. Alex watches her walk away, realizing she is deliberately avoiding the conversation. Something about that letter rattled her more than she let on, and that concerns him far more than the letter itself.